Well, you're right. We did acquire a company called Signal, and Signal is one that we've rolled into our Zippy product. So we were developing Zippy. They had launched Signal and had developed it and launched it just like we had. And in fact, they called theirs Ziggy. So if you ever needed a sign from the universe that two products should be combined, it's Zippy and Ziggy. And so we brought in their not only their product but their technology and their team. And so Matt Forbush, who was the founder of the Signal product, now leads our Zippy development team and is doing a great job of adding more and more features into the Zippy product. So within a month or so, the Signal name will be completely deprecated. Long live Signal, but going forward, it's combined with our Zippy product. And so when we get to the National Restaurant Association show next month, it will be fully baked as Zippy. And so we have some pretty marquee customers already on that product, and it gives you a sense for the value that it brings as part of that kind of operations layer, that digital infrastructure, if you will, that drives efficiency and net new profits into a restaurant. So some of those clients are like Jersey Mike's, Auntie Anne's Pretzels, Jamba, Carvel's, Haagen-Dazs, Cinnabon, Scooter's Coffee. Like, you get the gist of some of these names, and so they love it. It's a great restaurant operations product because if you think about it, and so what I mean by that is we ingest all of the data that currently powers a restaurant, which is very disparate. They don't ever get to a place where they actually kind of talk to each other and are aggregated into a single place. So that means point of sale system. So we'll take information from Toast, labor scheduling, payroll, put it all into a single system, that's Zippy, and then we do stuff with that drives efficiency in the operations of that restaurant. So one of the things we do is the employee revenue engine that I talked about earlier that drives net new sales. We have a task list that's typically done on a piece of paper, but there's a ton of tasks that go into successful operation every day of a restaurant. We've automated that. Labor scheduling, we have that. If somebody's got their own labor scheduling software, great, we can work with that. If not, we've got ours. Just plug it in. It's like a module. You just turn it on or off. There's dashboards that look at all of your data in real time. What are my sales per labor hour? It's predictive in the sense that it'll tell you, you're going to be overstaffed here. You're never going to make this much money, and therefore you don't, in terms of your sales based on the trends, and you don't need those extra two people. So either let them go home or don't schedule them at all. So all of these are things that provide action items that are, really impactful for the employees, the general managers, and the restaurant owner-operators. And if you're a restaurant owner-operator and you've got one or two stores to operate, you can kind of do that on a spreadsheet, and that's how you've traditionally done it. But what if you've got 20 or 30? There has to be a centralized place where you can kind of run it from your phone. That's what Zippy is. That's what we built. But the most impactful one that everybody can really understand is the employee revenue engine, because it just drives immediate net new revenues, literally on day one. And so, because there are levers that employees can pull in a restaurant to help you sell more, right? You can do sampling, especially if you're in a mall location. Auntie Anne's Pretzels is a great example. Nobody goes to the mall to buy a pretzel. They go to buy other stuff, but they're walking by Auntie Anne's and they get the smell of the freshly baked pretzels, and there's a guy outside handing out samples, and you're like, I think I'll take one of those. So that's a lever that you can pull. Suggestive selling. Would you like to supersize that? These are
how it was invented, right? It was one fries with that.
These are things that employees can do if they're motivated to do it, and if they're being pushed to do it, and a lot of them don't even know. Everybody wants to do a good job.
Right.
Why wouldn't you? So you give them the tools to do a good job, and they probably will. And that's what we see with Zippy's employee revenue engine. But then there are other modules you can add on. You can add on the labor scheduling. If you don't have any labor scheduling software and only 50% of the restaurants in the U.S. do, well, great, let us know. Turn it on. It's really simple. The dashboards, you turn that on. The task list, you turn that on. It's really, really simple. And that's part of the modernization that's happening. Like people are starting to realize, oh, I need this.